ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवै गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we recite this invocation that is called Mangalacharan. Why do we do? Mangalacharan means auspiciousness. We are seeking blessings from our Guru, from Lord Krishna, that whatever we are going to do today, may they bless us. So by their power, their mercy, we'll be able to do this successfully. So we are in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā. I will share my screen. And so far, Arjun had asked 6 questions to Krishna. What is field? Who is the knower of the field? What is knowledge? Who is to be known? What is Maya, Prakriti? So these are the questions that Arjun has put forward to Krishna. And then Krishna, he starts giving the answers that our body, this is called field or kshetra. And the person who knows everything about the body is called kshetrajna or the knower of the field. And then there are 26 elements which have already been created in the spiritual sky by Krishna. Earth, air, water, fire, ether. These are the 5 basic ingredients. And we are all formed of these 5, and then these 5 are further expanding. Okay? So Krishna has already created these in the spiritual world. And then Krishna, via the medium of Mahavishnu, comes in contact of this material world. Through Mahavishnu, we all enter in this material world. So you and I, all of us are spiritual beings. We don't belong. This is a foreign world to all of us. And that is why we can never find happiness. Can everyone please mute themselves? Raman Mataji, who is not on mute.
Girish Prabhuji.
Who?
Girish Prabhuji.
Okay, and someone please check. Ask them to mute. Okay, anyway. So we are not from this world. We are all foreigners in this material world. And that is the core reason why we are not happy. We might have all the money in the world. We might have good parents, good relationships, house, car, laptop, mobile phones, etc., good followers on social media, but still deep inside we cannot be happy. And the reason is we are not from here. Foreign land, our family is waiting for us in the spiritual sky. So we all came from the spiritual sky to this material sky, and we came by the medium of Mahavishnu. Then understand that it's like we were all ingredients, and then Lord Brahma, he assembled all of us. For instance, Lord Brahma puts in his computer that, okay, this person has such and such desire. XYZ person wants to fly in the air and they want to fly in America. Okay, so then he would do the coding, if else then, and then the result will come out. Okay, this person XYZ would become a sparrow in this part of the world. Okay, person ABC, they wanted to swim all the time. Fine. So he will do the coding as per the desire of person ABC, Mr. or Mrs. ABC. Then ABC will get the body of a dolphin or a shark or a different kind of fish. So this is how we actually come to this material world, because we have certain desires. To fulfill those desires, there is no place in the spiritual sky. So Krishna had to create this material sky. This material world is a place to reform our desires, to reconcile our desires with our family with Krishna's desires, with Radharani's desires, with all the Sakhis and the Gop Sakhas' desire. So that is why we have come to this material world. Moving ahead. So today we'll begin with the 21st. So this is a bit of technical, but we'll keep on taking help of the examples and the story so that it does not become too technical for all of us. 13.21, Raman Mataji, you can cue everyone. They can recite the verses. You begin with this one, please.
Okay.
1 second. Where is Prabhu? Was it 20th that we had to do or the 21st?
20th, Prabhu.
20? Okay,
Yes.
sorry. So let's go back to 20th. Yes, Mataji.
20. प्रकृतिं पुरुषं चैव विद्या अनादि उभव अपि विक्रमाश्च गुणानाश्च विद्धि प्रकृति संभवान्. Translation: Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By the knowledge given in this chapter, one can understand the body, the field of activities, and the knowers of the body, both the individual soul and the super soul. I think we have done this, Vedas Prabhu. If I'm not wrong, I think we have done. But anyway, let's redo this. The body is the field of activity and is composed of material nature. The individual soul that is embodied and enjoining the activities of the body is the Purush or the living entity. He is one knower and the other is the super soul. Of course, it is to be understood that both the super soul and the individual entity are different manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The living entity is in the category of his energy and the super soul is in the category of his personal expansion. Both material nature and the living entity are eternal. That is to say that they existed before the creation. So we were always there. We were never born. We are never born. Na jayate mriyate ba kadachit. Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyam ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. 2.20 Bhagavad-gītā. We were never born. We always existed. Krishna always existed. And then we are just as per our desire. So all of us, we have our Swaroop in the spiritual world. Meaning we all have a different kind of body. Someone might be a deer, someone might be a gopsakha, someone might be a bird, a tree, a leaf, a pot of water, a river. So we all have our spiritual Swaroop. But because of our different desires, we come to this material world to try to enjoy those desires. And that is why we have different kind of bodies, different kind of shape. For instance, some people, they can work really hard. They can lift so much of weight on their shoulder. But some people, they are delicate. They can't do that. Some people can run very fast. Some people can solve quizzes really fast. So these are all different. Because of different desires, they have acquired different kind of bodies. Okay. So yeah, we all existed eternally. The material manifestation is from the energy of the Supreme Lord, and so also are the living entities, but the living entities are of the superior energy. Both the living entities and material nature existed before this cosmos was manifested. So we are living entities and material nature is Maya Devi. So we both existed before this cosmos was manifested. Material nature was absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu, and when it was required, it was manifested by the agency of the Mahatattva, the 26 elements, Mahatattva, okay? Similarly, the living entities are also in him, and because they are conditioned, they are averse to serving the Supreme Lord, thus they are not allowed to enter into the spiritual sky. Now, what does this mean? As I have told you before, there are two different theories. Theory 1, we all used to live with Krishna or with different forms of Krishna, like Krishna lives in Golok Vrindavan Dham in Vaikunt. So Vaikunt is like a continent and Golok Vrindavan Dham is a country in Vaikunt. Then there is Saket Dham. In Saket Dham, Lord Ram lives. Then there is Narsimha Dham, Lord Narsimha Dev lives. Vaman Dham, there he lives. Then Mahavishnu lives in his own abode, and there are millions of incarnations of Lord Krishna, and we were all with him, with different incarnations. And then we had desire to enjoy independently, or we had desire to serve Krishna but independently. We did not want to follow the orders of our spiritual. Let's say we were in the team of Lalita Sakhi, and then Lalita Sakhi is served by Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami, and let's say we were under Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami said, okay, you have to give betel nut to me, prepare betel nut. I will give it to Lalita Sakhi, and Lalita Sakhi will give it to Radharani, and Radharani will give to Krishna. Now we had desired that, no, why should we follow this chain? I should have direct access to Krishna. So I will bypass Rupa Goswami, I will bypass Lalita Sakhi, I will bypass Radharani, and I will directly go to Krishna. So this is where the fall down began. And we had to come to this material world. This is theory one. Second theory is that we never were in the spiritual world from the beginning. We were always in the body of Mahavishnu. Now Mahavishnu is huge. From the pores, we all have pores in our body, isn't it? From each pore of Mahavishnu, one universe manifests when he breathes, when he exhales, and when he inhales, that cosmos or that universe is annihilated, it's gone. So we are all living in just one breath of Mahavishnu, and we have done this for infinity. There is no count. So now what happened was that from the body of Mahavishnu we all came, and all of us had some desire. 75% of the population had the desire to go to spiritual world and serve Krishna as per the rules and regulations. Like we have a menu, isn't it? Or we go and browse our internet that you have two choices. Your company is sending you to, let's say, Boston or in Germany. Now you will see, okay, what are the pros and cons in Germany? What are the pros and cons in Boston or US? And then you will decide, okay, you will tell your manager, I want to go to US instead of Germany, or Germany instead of US. So we had this option, whether you want to go to the spiritual sky or you want to go to the material sky. And there were some terms and conditions. In the spiritual sky, you will have to abide by the rules. You will be Satchitanand, you will be completely blissful. But in the material world, you can do your own research work. You can become a cat, you can become a dog, you can become this, you can become that. You can also become God. So the misfortunate 25% of us, we said we want to become God. Let us try becoming God. And then we were here, and since then we are here in this material sky. So this is the whole story of our existence. This is everyone's story, your story, my story. And now we are realizing all these things, that we had this choice, and then we are working towards this choice to go back to spiritual world. But why cannot you and I go today? Because we have this baggage of karma, A. But since we have chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, our baggage has been shortened. It's very, very, very less now. But the problem is, still you and I, we have desires. You self-introspect, you will find you have desires. Our desires still don't align with the desires of our spiritual masters, with the desires of our Vaishnava acharyas, and with the desire of Krishna. Because still we want to watch television, we watch reels on Instagram or YouTube, we want to go sightseeing, we want to do this, we want to do that. So this is the only thing that is stopping us, that these desires are stopping us from going back to Krishna. Okay, moving ahead. But with the coming forth of material nature, these living entities are again given a chance to act in the material world and prepare themselves to enter into the spiritual world. That is the mystery of this material creation. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but due to his rebellious nature, he is conditioned within material nature. Rebellious nature. I want to do this my way or highway. Maybe I can become God. Maybe I want to enjoy, or I want to serve Krishna my way. Why should I wake up in the morning for Mangal Aarti? I will wake up at 12 noon and then I will serve. So this is our rebellious nature. It really does not matter how these living entities or superior entities of the Supreme Lord have come in contact with material nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead knows, however, how and why this actually took place. So this is the golden question. Everyone who comes to our temple has asked this question. How did we come here? Why did we come here? And Prabhupada would say, you don't bother about it. You go to Krishna and ask that question. This is like someone threw you in the middle of an ocean and there is a ship coming to save you. The people have thrown a rope. You can catch the rope and come upon the ship, but you are saying, no, I will not take the rope. First tell me who threw me in the water. So Prabhupada said, what nonsense. First come on the boat and then ask the question, who threw you? First save yourself. So first go back to Krishna, do bhakti, go back to Krishna and then ask Krishna, what happened? Why did I come to this material world and what went wrong? So that's not the question for now. In the scriptures, the Lord says that those attracted by this material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. Yes, 15.6. Man shasthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. So he says that Mamaya Vanshe Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, that all of you are my part and parcel. You all belong to me. I am your parent. I love you. But you are struggling so hard in this material world. Mana Shashthani Indrani, there are 5 senses and the 6th sense is the mind. Prakritisthani karshati. In this prakriti, in this maya, in this material world, you are struggling so hard. Why you have to go for 9 to 5 job? Why you have to be depressed? Why you have to cry? Why you have to become old? Why you have to go through so much of heartbreaks, pain, depression, cancer, this, that? Why? Come back to me. You will be eternally happy without any old age, birth or disease. So all transformations and variety in respect to living entities are due to the body. As far as spirit is concerned, living entities are all the same. So the problem of our existence is body. B-O-D-Y. Birth, old age, disease, and Yamraj. B-O-D-Y. Birth, old age, disease, and Yamraj means death. These are the 4 problems that we need the solution to, and the solution is stop this cycle of repeated birth and death, go back to Krishna. That means stop this taking body again and again. Just finish it in one go and go back to Krishna. 21st. Yes, Raman Mataji is next.
Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna. कार्य कारण कृत्य हेतु प्रकृत्युच्यते पुरुषा सुख दुखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effect, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various suffering and enjoyment in this world.
Why do I feel we have taken this as well? But anyways, let's do this. The different manifestations of body and senses among the living entities are due to material nature. Material nature means Maya, Prakriti, okay? So just know this thing. There are 8.4 million different species of life and these varieties are creations of the material nature. So there are 8.4 million different types of creations. There are just 400,000 different kinds of human. Like in my previous lectures also I have told you, we are different, right? Someone is male, someone is female, someone is transgender, someone is white skin, someone is yellowish skin, someone is brown, someone is black, someone is different kind of body. These are just here. Then there are so many people living in our outer space that we call aliens. They are different. Then there are ghosts and spirits. Then there are different kinds. They are brothers and sisters. So total there are 400,000 different kind of just human beings. Then there are 30,000 kinds of animals. Then there are trees. Then there are birds. Then there are fish. So all these comprise of 8.4 million species. They arise from the different sensual pleasures of the living entity who thus desires to live in this body or that. When he is put into different bodies, he enjoys different kinds of happiness and distress. His material happiness and distress are due to his body and not to himself as he is. in his original state, there is no doubt of enjoyment. Therefore, that is his real state. So today I heard something very beautiful. One saint was telling this to another saint. He saying, I am not eating. I never ate. I am feeding my body. Now this is very, very deep statement. So we say, I ate paneer today. I ate cake. I ate this and that. We never eat. The body eats. So we actually are feeding the body. The food for soul is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So it's very difficult and very, very deep to understand. But once we realize this, everything is going to be clear. When we die, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejas ante kalevaram. So what's happening here is, this life is our preparation time for the exam. We are all students here. We are preparing for an exam. The exam is death. And the question paper is, can we remember Krishna at the time of death? This is the question paper. Now the whole life is preparing. In the end, we will only remember what we have done throughout our life. We cannot cheat Krishna, that we will enjoy our whole life and in the end we will chant Hare Krishna. That's never going to happen. The fact that you and I are sitting here, we all have failed in past million lives. We have failed because in the end, we did not remember Krishna, and that is why we are here in this material world suffering. So this is an examination undergoing. The question is set. You have to remember Krishna. We are chanting every single day our 16 rounds. We are waking up for Mangal Aarti. We are following the 4 regulated principles. We are living by the terms of our gurus and acharyas. We are serving the devotees. We are doing anything in our capacity. Now, when we are doing this, this is also not going to help us remember Krishna in the end. Because in the end, our senses are completely going to choke up. We can't think. We can't see. We can't eat. We can't hear. We can't do anything. We'll be in so much of pain at that time. But because we have prepared hard, so hard in our life, waking up in morning is not a joke. That too in a foreign land where you're supposed to enjoy. But still, everyone is waking up in the morning. Chanting 16 rounds again, it's not something easy. But still, somehow we are managing to do that. We are serving in the temple, we are serving the devotees, we are aspiring for initiation, all these things. When Krishna sees this, then in the end, it's his mercy that is going to pull us and Krishna is going to make us remember him. He says, right, in 15th chapter, 15th verse, that from me comes remembrance. Jnanam apohanam cha. Isn't it? From me smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Vedashya sarver aham eva vedyo. So he's saying that I will give you that intelligence, I will give you that remembrance. So because we have done this our whole life, now why we are failing so far, now this is very interesting. Pay attention. We are failing so far again is because we have been trying to serve Krishna directly. Because Krishna says, Bahunam janmanamante mam jnanvan prapadyate vasudevam sarvamati samatma sudurlabam. So we are sitting here trying to discuss Krishna Katha, Bhagavad-gītā, Bhagavatam, we are chanting, we are doing Mangalarti and everything. That means in our past million lives, we have worshipped Krishna. So if we have worshipped Krishna, why are still we here? Because maybe we have tried to worship Krishna directly. Now that is also a problem. To pass in Krishna's exam, if Krishna is checking the paper, we need 100 by 100. Even if it is 99.5, Krishna will fail us. He is very strict. Krishna is strict. So then what happens? So Krishna has come in Mahavadanyaya avatar. Mahavadanyaya means most merciful avatar. That is the golden avatar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If we directly say, I want to go to Krishna, impossible. We are not going to Krishna. Even if we are Krishna devotees, not possible. We want to go to Radharani, not possible. Who are you? I belong to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now it's possible. All the doors will open. I belong to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Do not expect any prestige and then just chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. If we follow this, then Mahaprabhu will say, but still there is a condition. Kirtaniya Sadahari. You have to always chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now that is not possible. We will say we have to go to job, we have to go to this, we have to go to that. It is not possible. When we are sleeping, we cannot chant. But Mahaprabhu said, no, Kirtaniya Sadhari. So for Mahaprabhu, you need 40 marks, 40 by 100, then only you will go to Golok Vrindavan Dham or you will clear your exam. So now what is the shelter? The next shelter is Nityananda Prabhu. So those who have taken the shelter of Nitai, Nityananda Prabhu, only they will get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu says that don't worry. You just come and you sit in the examination. Just write your name, your roll number and date. I will fill the answers on your behalf. I will give your exam and I will make you pass. So that is Nityananda Prabhu. See, so the mercy is increasing now. Krishna 100 by 100. Mahaprabhu 40 by 100. But still we say no, it's impossible. 40 also we cannot pass. So the Nityananda Prabhu says, don't worry. You just come, you sit in the exam, and then I will write your exam and I will pass you. So what we say, that even that is not possible. We can't even do that. We cannot chant 16 rounds throughout our life. We cannot follow 4 regulative principles. We cannot do this, we cannot do that. So now what is the shelter? So the last shelter is Prabhupada. Prabhupada says that don't even come to the examination center. Don't worry. Don't even come there. From home only, you just desire that you are going to give the exam and I will write the exam on your behalf and I will go to the center on your behalf and I will make sure that you clear. So that is Prabhupada. Meaning Prabhupada says, I have the back door key of Golok Vrindavan Dham, the topmost planet. I have the back door key. And anyone who is attending Mangal Aarti every single day while chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following 4 regulative principles, serving the devotees and their Guru, following Ekadashi, I will make sure, even if they are not qualified, even if they don't get 100 by 100, they don't get 40 by 100, they don't come to sit in the exam, still I will make sure they go back to Krishna law. So this is the reality. Now we have to choose. Either we follow Prabhupada, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or following Krishna means 100 by 100. If anyone here has the audacity to get 100 out of 100, then you can directly go to Krishna. But that is not very wise or intelligent advice. Prabhupada is our starting point and the end point as well. So because of the desire to lord it over material nature, he is in the material world. In the spiritual world, there is no such thing. The spiritual world is pure, but in the material world, everyone is struggling hard to acquire different kinds of pleasures for the body. It might be more clear to state that this body is the effect of the senses. The senses are instruments for verifying desire. Now, the sum-total body and instrument senses is offered by material nature, and as will be clear in the next verse, the living entity is blessed or damned with circumstances according to his past desire and activity. According to one's desires and activities, material nature places one in various residential quarters. That is, the residential quarter is the body. Today, I have a male body. In my previous life, I could have been Lord Brahma, or I could have been a demon, or I could have been a ghost, I could have been anyone, right? So I am changing my residential quarter. That means body, life after life. The being himself is the cause of his attaining such residential quarters and his attendant enjoyment or suffering. Once placed in some particular kind of body, he comes under the control of nature because the body being matter acts according to the laws of nature. So I have limitation when I enter a body. When I was in elephant's body, I could have eaten maybe a ton of bananas. But now because I have taken the body of a human, I cannot eat more than 20 bananas. I will fall sick, isn't it? But for an elephant, if I was in the body of an elephant, I could have eaten easily 100 bananas and it wouldn't have hurt my stomach, right? So because of our desires, we get certain bodies and then we have limitations in those bodies. At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. Like I cannot eat ton and quintal of bananas. I cannot change this law, isn't it? Suppose an entity is put into the body of a dog. As soon as he is put into the body of a dog, he must act like a dog. He cannot act otherwise. And if the living entity is put into the body of a hog, then he is forced to eat stool and act like a hog. Similarly, if the living entity is put into the body of a demigod, he must act according to his body. That is the law of nature, but in all circumstances, the super soul is with the individual soul. That is explained in the Vedas, Mundak Upanishad 3.1.1 as follows. The Supreme Lord is so kind upon the living entity that he always accompanies the individual soul and in all circumstances is present as a super soul or Paramatma. 22.
Abhishek Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Purusha prakadistho hi Pungte pratidam gudam karanam gudasangosya sat sattva janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to the association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species.
Yeah. So, in reality, there is nothing good or bad. Ehi mand, ehi bhalo, ehi shabram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that some people think that this is good, this is bad, but actually both is illusion. There is nothing good or bad in this material world. It's really happening. I am talking to you. This is not a dream, but this is dream like. In my dream, even if I get a beautiful mansion and a car or maybe a jet plane and everything, and I will say it's very good, but no, in reality it's not good because this is not happening. This is just a dream. When I wake up, that is not the reality. So that is why Mahaprabhu says that to think anything is good or bad is actually, it's not very intelligent, but because we have come into the context of this material world, we tend to believe something is good or something is bad. This verse is very important for understanding of how the living entities transmigrate from one body to another. It is explained in the second chapter that the living entities transmigrating from one body to another just as one changes dress. This change of dress is due to his attachment to material existence. As long as he is captivated by this false manifestation, he has to continue transmigrating from one body to another. Until and unless I have the conception of I, my, I am this, I am that, I am in such and such post, this false ego, I will have to keep taking the body. When the false ego turns into the true ego is that I am not this body, I am a soul, I am not from this world, I am just a foreigner, I have come here because I have to reform my perverted desires and go back to Krishna. Now this is Shuddha ego, true ego, then we will go back to Krishna. Until then, we have to be here. Due to his desire to lord it over material nature, he is put into such undesirable circumstances. Under the influence of material desire, the entity is born sometimes as a demigod. We all have become Brahma. We all have become Indra. Sometimes as a man, sometimes as a beast, as a bird, as a worm, as an aquatic, as a saintly man, as a bug. This is going on. And in all cases, the living entity thinks himself to be the master of his circumstances. Yet he is under the influence of material nature. How he is put into such different bodies is explained here. It is due to association with the different modes of nature. Everyone has three modes of nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Now these three modes have captured my mind and my heart. And there is a tussle, there is a fight going on between these three. And for instance, I said that we will be taking class today, 8 to 8:45 Irish time. Raman Mataji message. Now many people have seen this message. There are 200 people in the group. Almost 100 people have seen the message. I think there will be probably 15-20% of the people who have turned up. Now there is this mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. The ignorant will say that what is there in it? They will say the same thing again and again. So I'm not going to go to the lecture. The passionate will say, I'd rather do something for my body. Maybe I will work out in the gym. I will make some dish and I will enjoy. I will watch Netflix, this and that. And the mode of goodness, people who are in the mode of goodness, they will say, no, let us utilize this time. This time won't come again. We will get to know the science of Krishna. This is going to do us good and we might go back to Krishna. We'll have the mercy of Krishna and Radharani. So this is how the three modes of nature are always fighting with each other. Every day in the morning, we have to fight to wake up for Mangalarti. And that is why Krishna spoke Bhagavad-gītā during a battlefield. Because we have to fight every day. Arjun had to fight. And Arjun said, I will not fight. I will go and become a Babaji in Himalaya. We say, I will not fight. I will sleep. But Krishna says, wake up and fight. Don't worry, I have killed the enemy on your behalf. You just need to stand there. So he says, don't worry about your sleep, or Maya Devi. I know it is difficult. She is strong. Bhishma Devi is against you. Dronacharya, your guru, is against you. Karna is against you. There are so many Maharathis who are standing against you. But I am standing with you. So Krishna is saying every day to us that I am standing with you. You fight. Wake up. You chant your 16 rounds. Wake up. Whenever we are trying to do something wrong, breaking the 4 regulative principles, Krishna is there saying, don't do this, you fight. You fight that tendency. So the 3 modes are actually fighting with themselves. Mode of ignorance says, no, let's sleep, or let's watch something. Mode of passion will say, let's do something, let's create something. Goodness will say, let's become peaceful. Let's do something for the society, for our own soul. So this is the tussle going on between the 3 modes. And it is every moment the tussle is going on. One is to rise therefore above the 3 material modes and become situated in the transcendental position. This is called Krishna consciousness. Unless one is situated in Krishna consciousness, his material consciousness will oblige him to transfer from one body to another because he has material desires since time immemorial. But he has to change that conception. That change can be effected only by hearing from authoritative sources. The best example is here. Arjuna is hearing the signs of God from Krishna, the living entity. If he submits to this hearing process, will lose his long-cherished desire to dominate material nature, and gradually and proportionately he is reduced. As he reduces his long desire to dominate, he becomes to enjoy spiritual happiness. In a Vedic mantra, it is said that as he becomes learned in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he proportionately relishes his eternal blissful life. Who? We. Sat Chit Anand. In reality, you and I, we are very happy. Very, very happy. You see a child, a newborn baby. They are happy. They love for no reason. They will look at you, stare at you, and they will start laughing. Why? No reason. They're laughing. Why? Because in our innocent, in our pure stage, we are always happy. Always. But now we are all grown. Some of you might be 20-year-old, 30, 40, 50. We are not happy. Even if we buy something, we'll be happy for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, and then again going back to becoming sad. Why? Because we have disassociated, disconnected ourselves with Krishna. That is the whole reason. And the child is under the protection of Krishna. That is why it's always happy. 23rd verse.
Vishali Mataji.
Hare Krishna. उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेनि चाप्युक्तो देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme propertier, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul.
It is stated here that the super soul, who is always within the individual soul, is the representation of the Supreme Lord. He is not an ordinary living entity, because the monist philosophers state that knower of the body to be one, they think that there is no difference between the super soul and the individual soul. To clarify this, the Lord says that he is represented as Paramatma in every body. He is different from the individual soul. He is para, transcendental. The individual soul enjoys the activities of a particular field, but the super soul is present not as finite enjoyer nor as one taking part in worldly activities, but as the witness, overseer, permitter, and supreme enjoyer. So, when the examination is going on, the examiner does not correct the paper. They are just going and just watching. When we are writing, we all have given exam, isn't it? So when we give exam, very silently, the examiner, they will just go around the class, just checking. Are we cheating? What are we doing? What we are not doing? So Krishna as Paramatma, as Sakshi, he is very silent and quiet. I want to drink Sprite. Okay, fine, you drink Sprite. I want to eat burger. Okay, fine, you eat burger. So he's silently just sanctioning everything. I am desiring. He is not doing anything. He is just sanctioning based on the karma points I've acquired. If my karma is not to get a burger, he will say, sorry, I cannot sanction this. You don't have enough credits. Your karma point says you cannot have this. But if it is there, he will say, okay, fine, you have it. Even though we are sick and want to eat fast food, Krishna will say, okay, fine. Because exam is going on and he is quiet. He is not correcting. But at the end, he is going to correct. And then we all fail. Okay. So that is how he works. As Paramatma, he is a silent observer. His name is Paramatma, not Atma, and he is transcendental. It is distinctly clear that Atma and Paramatma are different. The super soul, the Paramatma, has legs and hands everywhere, but the individual soul does not. And because the Paramatma is the Supreme Lord, he is present within to sanction the individual soul's desiring material enjoyment. Without the sanction of the Supreme Soul, the individual soul cannot do anything. The individual is Bhukta, or the sustained, and the Lord is Bhokta, or the maintainer. There are innumerable living entities, and he is staying in them as a friend. The fact is that every individual living entity is eternally part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and both of them are very intimately related as friends. So, Krishna is our friend. Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Yatvamam Shantim Richati. 29th verse of the 5th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā. He says, Suhridam. We think that we have a best friend. My mother is my best friend. My father is my best friend. My neighbor is my best friend. But no. When I die or when they die, where have they gone? Where will I go? Will I still remain friends with them after I die? No. They are in a different body, in a different universe. I will be in a different body, in a different universe. So where is the friendship now? We only have one friend, and that friend has been with us throughout our material journey. Throughout. Even when we went to hell, he went with us. Every time we cry, it's not only one person who cries, it's two persons who cry. We and Super Soul. Because we are sad, he is also sad. He cries. When we laugh and jump, he is also happy with us. So he is our best friend, and this is not my word, this is Krishna himself speaking. So Ridam Sarva Bhutana. I am the best friend of every living entity. Yatma Mam Shantim Richati. And whoever knows this, they will attain everlasting peace. Because now you know you are not alone. People say, I'm depressed, I am alone, I have no one to talk to. You talk to yourself, you talk to Krishna. He's your best friend, he is living inside you. He's witnessing everything. And the day we surrender to Krishna, we say, we are you are mine. That day, he changes his role. For pure devotees, there is no Paramatma. Paramatma is only for the ordinary people. For the pure devotees, it is not Shirodakshai Vishnu who is inside their heart. It is Krishna who enters, like Krishna entered the heart of Vasudeva. And from the heart of Vasudeva, he entered the womb of Mother Devaki, and then he comes to this material world. So first he comes in the heart. So who is completely, if I become completely Krishna conscious, in my heart there won't be any Paramatma anymore. It will be Krishna, direct manifestation of Krishna in my heart. So Krishna is always there as Paramatma, and when we become pure devotees, it is Lord Krishna himself. So that is why we see when pure devotees speak, it is Krishna speaking. Prabhupada, he would listen to his own lectures after he had given the lecture, or he would read his own books. So the disciples would ask, Prabhupada, you have written the book. Why do you ask us to read every night before you go to sleep? He says, because I cannot write this. Krishna himself has written all these purports. The purport that you and I, we are reading now, it's written by Krishna as per Prabhupada. Why? Because Krishna is sitting in the heart of a pure devotee. Yeah, so Krishna is our best friend. He has been with us throughout our journey, and until we go back to Krishna, he will accompany us. And even after we go back to him, he is going to accompany us. The living entity can be situated either in the material energy or in the spiritual energy. As long as he is conditioned by the material energy, the Supreme Lord as his friend, one second. The super soul stays with him just to get him to return to the spiritual energy. The Lord is always eager to take him back to the spiritual energy, but due to his minute independence, the individual entity is continually rejecting the association of spiritual light. So it is said in Bhagavatam, in the second canto, I think, that Krishna is such a person who is actually cleaning all our dirt. For instance, if we go, someone comes to our house, they say, we are near your house, I will reach your house in 5 minutes. And let's say there is a mess. My kitchen is messy, my room and my hall, everything is messy. And there is a friend, and he overhears that there is someone, important person is coming to meet. So if that is a good friend, he will say, okay, let me help you. And very quickly, the friend will help. He will clean up the kitchen. He will say, you take care of the hall, I will take care of the kitchen, and let's do this together. This is Krishna. This is what he does for us. He says, don't worry, I will fight your battle. You just desire. You desire. Arjun did not kill anyone in the war. Neither Bhim, neither Yudhishthir. No one killed. It was Krishna who killed everyone in the war. So Krishna does our task. Everything is done by Krishna. All we need to do is desire to go back to him. So this misuse of independence is the cause of his material strife in the conditioned nature. The Lord therefore is always giving instruction from within and from without. From without, he gives instruction as stated in Bhagavad-gītā, and from within he tries to convince the living entity that his activities in the material field are not conducive to real happiness. Just give it up and turn your fate toward me, then you will be happy, he says. Sadmukh hoi jeev mohi jabhi, janma koti agap nasahi tabahi, Lord Ram says. That you come to me and I will take care of everything, don't worry. Thus the intelligent person who places his faith in the Paramatma or the Supreme Personality of Godhead begins to advance toward a blissful eternal life of knowledge. So we have taken 3 verses today. 24th we'll begin in the next chapter, next class. I'm going to stop here. If there is any question, please raise your hand.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
you explained about the two theory. But we used to live with Krishna, and there we desired to serve independently. That's why we came in this material world. So in a shortcut, could you explain again the second theory? I'm just writing that one.
Second theory is we were never in the spiritual world. We always were in this material world. So we are called Tathastha Shakti. Tathastha means it is in between the material and the spiritual. Okay, marginal. So we always had the choice. We still have the choice to go back to. So now when we go to Krishna, it will be the first time we'll go to Golokdham. So that is the second theory. Okay.
But if means whatever I learned from you, my experiencing that you said that we were in the Golokdham.
That's what I'm saying. There is 2 different theories, Mataji, and yeah, because they are like sannyasi came recently, and I was discussing, and he said, "No, we were never in Golok Vrindavan Dham. We were always here." And someone I meet, they say we were in Golok Vrindavan Dham. So, and both are great learned sannyasis. So you cannot, and this is like Prabhupada said, don't put so much of your thoughts into this. The point is we have to go back to Krishna, that's it. Where were we? Why were we here? Why are we here? Doesn't matter. Where we have to go, that is more important, okay? Yeah. Yes, Shyamasakhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is, like when someone enjoys, like in always we are not involved ourselves, we are not keeping ourselves busy in the services. So sometimes we engaged in material enjoyment also. That time, does our soul enjoy that enjoyment?
No. It's just the body. So, enjoyment is done by the mind, Mataji, okay? Mind is very strong. I might feel very sleepy, and this I've experienced, okay? I'm very sleepy. I cannot, it's like I will die. I need to go to bed. And if you open laptop and a movie, then you will watch the movie for another 5-6 hours. Few minutes ago, I was thinking I will die if I don't sleep. And now, what happened? I am still tired, but my mind is absorbed in the movie, so I can watch that movie. So the enjoyment, the happiness, the sadness, everything is on the mind level, Mataji, not on the body level. And that is why you will see in the army, during battles, during wars, there are soldiers who have taken the bullets, but still mentally they are so strong that still they are fighting. Why? Because the mind is telling them, I have to kill my enemy. Don't worry about the bullets. So it's all mind, Mataji, that is suffering or that is, enjoying, not the soul.
Okay, Prabhuji, next. Thank you. Prabhuji, I have one more question. Like, what exactly does the meaning of association? Association means I'll share my understanding. Like, with whom you are spending time. Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm spending time, means most of my time with someone, then nowadays many divorce cases, then how come it's happening?
Like
why that means like that bond is not getting built? If someone is spending time, then what?
No, so see, no, you are missing one word: good association and bad association. Association does not always mean good, right? Association of thief and terrorist is bad. Do you think I will go and live with the terrorist and I will chant 16 rounds and I will come to Mangalarti? No. So
maybe
we have
that other person can be changed, Prabhuji. There is a chance, right?
If you are very, very, very strong in your bhakti, like Haridas Thakur, he chanted 192 rounds every day. So he changed Maya Devi, who came as a prostitute. He had that potency, that power. But if something like that happens to me, I am not a pure devotee. I don't have the power of such chanting. So I will fail. So you see, you have to have, when you go to flight, Mataji, okay, what do they say? That first save yourself before saving others, isn't it? In the announcement, they do this announcement that first save yourself and put your oxygen mask and then help the others, whether it be your family. So first, Mataji, we have to become really strong in our sadhana. Then only we will be coming to the stage where we can help others. Else, no, I don't have the capacity today that someone can come and then I can give them bhakti because I don't have myself. But maybe my guru have, maybe your guru has. They can do that. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Yes, Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is how to judge your sadhana की मतलब आपकी साधना कैसी चल रही है क्योंकि हम हर चीज को देखते हैं ना परफॉर्मेंस मीटर पे तो how to judge yourself?
So we are doing this sadhana card, posting this sadhana card every day, Mataji, right? So first, what is happening is that we are building consistency in our life. Being consistent is the most powerful technique to control our mind. This whole game, Mataji, is to control our mind. Everything we are going through today, happiness, sadness, is because of our mind. Why? Because the mind desires, isn't it? When we do something constantly, then the mind will form a habit. So, step 1, whatever we do, 1 round of chanting, 2 rounds of chanting, be consistent. And then slowly, very slowly, baby steps, then you increase under the guidance of a devotee. If you do it yourself, you will fail, you will fall down. Under the guidance of someone in association, Mataji, then slowly and slowly you will increase. If you are chanting 16 rounds, then the next step is you chant those 16 rounds in the morning. If you are chanting your 16 rounds in the morning, the next step is you try to at least chant 1 round attentively. The next step, 2 rounds attentively, 3 rounds attentively, then 16 rounds, then you increase your rounds, 17 rounds, 18 rounds. So you see, it's a long way now, a long way. But starting very basic. We have to follow 4 regulative principles. We have to try to chant at least, come to the platform of 16 rounds, and then no onion, garlic, and all those things slowly. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, one more quick question. कि अमानी ना मान देना कीर्तनिया सदाहरी. तो जब हमारे insults, when somebody insults you or you feel very bad and you are taking it very, like you are pretending that it doesn't affect you, but it is affecting you, it is hurting you. So in that situation, what we are supposed to do?
It is hurting you because you are associating yourself with the body, Mataji. In the beginning, we are very, very immature now. So of course, if someone will say something to me, I'll feel bad. But when I constantly do my sadhana and I understand the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, then I will understand that person is not speaking about me. He's speaking about my body and I'm not this body. someone calls me, let's say, fat, or someone calls me brown skinned or this or that, they are actually pointing a finger at my body, but I am not this, I am not brown skin, I am not fat, I am not short, I am not this, I am not that. So you are pointing a finger at my body. Now when I am associated myself with the body, I am connected to my body, then I will feel bad, I will cry, I will crib about it. But when I know that this is not who I am, I won't feel a thing, Mataji. And this will come with time. When you chant enough, when you will be in the association, Mataji, then these things, like initially, many people would make fun of me. You are chanting Hare Krishna, you are wearing dhoti kurta in this age, you are doing this, you are wasting your life. I used to feel bad and I used to feel ashamed. But now, doesn't matter. I don't care, because when I die, you won't be with me. My Harinam will be with me. My sadhana will be with me. Right? So I don't care. You laugh at me, you make fun of me, you beat me, you talk behind my back, doesn't matter. Why? Because with constant sadhana and with the association of the devotees, I've seen other people also go through the same things and they have stayed strong. So they are my idols. Now I am also staying strong because I've seen them, you know. So tomorrow you will also see more devotees. Like you see many saints. Prabhupada, people used to, the junkies, they would throw stones at him, they would spit at him, they would do so many things. He's an old man, 70-year-old who has left his country with no money, no backup, nothing. He's staying with the junkies who are sleeping, they are having illicit relationship, they are druggists, they have beef in their same refrigerator where Prabhupada is cooking his prasadam. Just imagine what he has gone through. So when we read Prabhupada Leelamrit, then we will also have that strength, Mataji, that we can also do that by his mercy. Okay?
Ji, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Pragati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question is that, as you mentioned that we were like in the first version of the theory that like we were all part of, like we were all in Golok Dham. But then we came here to fulfill our desires because we had desires. So what if one goes to the Golok Dham again? And then again, if they have those desires, they have to come back.
Yeah. So, in the 7th verse of the 15th chapter, Krishna says, Yat Tatvana Nivartante Tad Dham Paramam Mam. He says, once who reaches my abode, you can go and check 15.7 Bhagavad-gītā. So he says, once who reaches my abode will never come back. So the thing is, Prabhupada says that even when we will go back to Krishna, we still will have our pre-independence, minute independence. We will still have our independent desires, but now the desire, Krishna will ensure that those desires are completely pure desires. So this is guarantee of Krishna, and we are just living by the words of Krishna, that is not going to happen. So Prabhupada said actually that yes, we can fall down again from there, but Krishna will never let that happen because Krishna has given his words that he will never come back. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. That answers my question.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, if there is no question, we'll have the next class on coming Thursday. Please try to attend. It's very, very interesting chapter 13, 14. So we are in the last chapters of Bhagavad-gītā, and those who have joined midway, if you want to know the previous classes, Vedas Prabhu shares the link. You can either ask in the group. So we have the complete, this is 65th class and second batch actually. So we have all the classes from the first class to the 13th chapter. So you can ask in the group and Vedas Prabhu will share with you. Vancha kalpata rubhescha kripa sindhu bhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining.